Do you realize what's going on? What that means? Pretty soon this AI revolution will doom everything. Creative industry, art industry as you know it will perish. Movies? Gone. Music? Gone. Books? Gone. Art? Gone. And you'll be sitting there in the ruins of your own success, all-powerful human. But how could you make such a mistake? Whoa, dramatic. Yeah, anyway, you probably guessed that this video is all about progress of AI, but not just about that. It's more about how this progress of AI will affect people who create content, art, and all this kind of stuff. Mostly I will be doing examples from what AI can do in terms of video, movies, and like animation, because I'm a videographer and I also love anime and I'm trying to create my own animated series, so these are kind of the things that impact me the most and I have like the most concrete opinion on those, I guess. So yeah, let's go. Okay, so what I want to do now is do a quick little recap of last couple of years to see the progression that appeared, and the progression is just insane. So, look at the screen. First, we start with Sora that appeared in like early 2024, if I'm not mistaken, and it shocked everyone. It shocked everyone, and rightfully so. It looks amazing, but it still had a lot of problems, and the shots that were picked by the OpenAI to present Sora were handpicked by them, and Sora wasn't exactly the best in handling physics and handling fingers. Also, those videos didn't have any sound at all, only pure video. And now we fast forward to 2025 and I present to you Google Veo 3, and improvements in 1 year are astounding. First, much better physics, much better, and now they also handle fingers and all the appendages that we have much better, and also videos generated by them now have sound.
This ocean, it's a force, a wild, untamed might, and she commands your awe.
So yeah, ridiculous. And this astounding progress in just 1 year made a lot of people uneasy, because what's coming next? And rightfully so, in my opinion. So this progression of AI will make a lot of people mad, and they will be right to be mad, because first of all, like, imagine an animated series. If you see a great animation or great art style, you might go like, wow, I wonder who drew that, I wonder who animated that, and then you look it up and it's AI. And I feel like this aspect alone will bring down the value significantly of all art that will be created. Even like soundtracks, if they're made by AI, they're not that good anymore, you know? What's there to appreciate? An algorithm? But it's still pretty good if I'm talking about something that was still written by people. But there definitely will be the ones that will generate a script for a movie in AI and then make it in AI. This will be a fully AI generated movie, and I am sure that there will be people that will be making hundreds of these a year, hoping that maybe some of them may blow up. And yeah, this is sad. Because the great filter that filters out all the even worse movies, because a lot of people tend to think that everything is bad now, every movie is bad now, but yeah, I do understand that corporations that make these movies want to make money, so they might not accept always the best option and might accept something that will just generate money. But these movies are not always awful. They will not take an just awful movie so it will make money. Like, most of the time at least. They have thousands to pick from, and now the filter will be broken and the movies, series, cartoons, everything. There will be so much of that, you just won't know what to pick. I honestly hope that there will be some regulation that will regulate the human created ones, then there will be AI created ones but still written by people, and then fully AI generated ones. Because if we can't sort it out, it's gonna be a nightmare, honestly. So yeah, it sounds so bad now, right? But I do believe that there is some good in it. Definitely. And it's gonna sound weird because it's gonna sound probably somewhat opposite of what I said right now. I feel like AI also can bring a lot of creativity back into the industry. So I definitely believe that it also can be good for us. And it can be especially good for people for whom it is the only chance to get big. Or the only chance to tell their story, because not every big studio is gonna push every story, even if it's good. As I said before, they need to sell it. It might have some characteristics that will tell them that it might not sell good and they just don't want to risk it. But the story might still be amazing, and because of that, nobody will ever see it. But now, with these tools, only like, how much is Google Veo 3? Only like $249 a month. Of course it's not $20, but it's much less than, for example, budget of $50 million, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it can be really valuable for those for whom it's actually the only chance they'll ever get. And the second thing that is really important here is budget and who controls it. Because the studios control the budget, and even if you're like a big shot director, you might still have some limitations, even though studios know that you provide great results. But if you're a beginner and you have a script and you want to sell it, you will probably never have a say in how they adapt it. And if you want to become a showrunner, become like a head of the project, you probably just won't. And even if you do, you will have countless limitations that they put on you. But now this creator can just create his stuff with AI. He doesn't need millions for it. Of course, he will need some money, but it's still incomparable. It's incomparable. And I think it's really valuable because we might see the pieces of art that we would never see without AI, because nobody will be there to limit the creators. The only real problem here is probably distributing, but that's another story. And I mentioned that I'm trying to create my own animated series. Right now I'm trying to write a script and it's mostly done. And right now I understand that I almost have no choice in the matter, and I will have to use AI to create my stuff. And it is basically for the same reasons that I talked about right now, so let me explain. Okay, so why would I want to do that, you think? Well, the reasons are simple. First, I don't have any budget. I might get some budget for a pilot episode and it's not gonna look good because I don't have millions, obviously, and then I'm just gonna have to hope for the better, that someone notices me, maybe go to film festivals, whatever. But there is a second thing, it is even more important, and I said about it before, and it is lack of freedom if you're connected to the studio. If you do your stuff independently, you can do whatever you want. Nobody will ever tell me what I can or can't do, that I have to shorten this part, that I have to cut it out. None of this. I will do anything I want. There is a risk of it turning out not so good. Like, obviously, I know that. And it's gonna be a risk for every creation like this. But still, I'm gonna try to make it better and better and better and better and better. And I hope that with time, I will actually become great at this. But honestly, this question of freedom was always on my mind, like even when I was a kid, just dreaming about this stuff, because I realized that nobody will ever give me complete freedom. And honestly, it made me question my ways and even thinking if all this was even worth it. And now that I have an opportunity to get this complete freedom, it's totally different. And also what you have to understand is that when I tell about making something with AI, it doesn't mean that everything will be fully computer generated. I mean, I hope so. It will also depend on how much money and time I will have, but I hope to at least get voice actors. I hope to at least maybe get an artist on this, so I have better control of the image and how characters look, like all this stuff. OSTs are a hard one because I know that AI is trying to generate its own music now, and I might use it or I might not use it. It all depends on, first of all, again, my budget, and also how good the AI that makes music will be at that time. So yeah, if you think about it, I can actually control this process. And obviously, if you're making an animated series, the most costly and the hardest to execute is always animation. Animation is ridiculously hard, and if I can just automate it, it becomes much easier. I can do like a couple season show in 2 to 3 years by myself. This is ridiculous, and that's why I'm talking about this being a huge opportunity for some people like me. Okay, so I think that's it. If you want more info about me making my animated series that I was talking about, there should be an update video soon. And there is also one last thing I want to say about AI, and it is pretty simple, that with this revolution you have two options. You can either first hate it, which is honestly understandable, or second, you can try and use it, and maybe you can do some great with it. And honestly, I would at least try using the second option. And I think that's it. See ya!